Hello Golden State Warriors fan, we're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates. First of all, subscribe to the channel and like the video, it's crucial for you to stay informed. With the news daily, without further ado, let's get to the news. D'Anthony Melton might just be on his way back to the Bay, and if that happens, it's more than just a roster move, it's a statement. A reminder that not everything goes according to plan in the NBA. But when someone makes the right impression, doors don't always close for good. Now picture this, it's the start of the 202,425 season. Steve Kerr is looking for defensive toughness, backcourt hustle, and someone who doesn't need the ball in his hands every possession to make a real impact. So who does he push to bring in? D'Anthony Melton. Fresh off a stint with the Sixers, Melton was exactly the kind of piece the Warriors needed, a guard with length, instinct, and just enough offensive juice to keep defenses honest. Melton joins the team on a one-year deal, and right out of the gate it feels like a smart pickup. He doesn't need time to get comfortable. He knows his role, he plays hard, he moves his feet, he fights through screens. All those little things that might not show up in the box score, but make coaches nod in approval. And veterans take notice. In just 6 regular season games, he's already winning people over, not just fans, but the locker room too. And most importantly, the Warriors are winning with him on the floor. 4 wins out of those 6 games, that's no coincidence. But then, just when it seemed like Melton was carving out a serious place for himself, everything came to a screeching halt. A partially torn ACL. One of the most dreaded phrases in sports, a moment that flips everything. Suddenly it's not about building chemistry, it's not about playoff pushes, it's not even about basketball. It's about recovery, surgery, long-term health. And Melton, thinking about his future, chooses the surgical route. A tough call, but a smart one. Because sometimes protecting your career means stepping away from the court before it's too late. The business side of the league doesn't wait. Though, with his season over, the Warriors move him in a deal to Brooklyn, bringing in Dennis Schroeder in the process. On paper, it's a trade. But emotionally for the team, it was clear Melton left an impact. And no one made that more clear than Draymond Green. Now we know Draymond doesn't sugarcoat anything. If he's not feeling a player, he'll say it. If he thinks someone doesn't bring value, it'll show. But when he talked about Melton, there was genuine respect. He wasn't just talking about a guy who can hit shots or defend the point of attack. He was talking about energy, presence, consistency, and the vibes. Yes, the vibes. Melton was that kind of teammate who made the locker room better just by being around. Draymond said it straight, what Melton brought to the team was special. And the Warriors were going to miss that, not just on the court, but his entire demeanor. Always positive, always composed, never sulking. The kind of guy who walks into a room and makes people feel better no matter what's happening on the scoreboard. That kind of attitude, it's rare. Especially in a league where contract years come with pressure, stress, and sometimes selfishness. And here was Melton in the middle of a preview season, facing a brutal injury and still maintaining that same infectious positivity. That speaks volumes. Draymond didn't stop there. He made it clear Melton had already left his mark on the franchise, and if he wanted to come back, he should. The door was open. That kind of endorsement doesn't come easily, not from someone like Draymond. That's a player saying, we need this guy again, we want this guy back. And now it seems like that return could actually happen. According to multiple reports, including from Brian Windhorst, the Warriors are very close to finalizing Melton's return for the 202,526 season. And it's not just him. The team is also looking to bring in veteran big man Al Horford, but the pieces aren't falling into place just yet, because there's still one unresolved domino: Jonathan Kuminga. His restricted free agency is holding up the final moves. Once that gets settled, we might see Melton don the Warriors jersey once again. Now let's talk numbers. Because while Melton only played 6 games for Golden State, those games were enough to give fans a taste of what he brings to the table. In just over 20 minutes per night, he was averaging more than 10 points, over 3 rebounds, close to 3 assists, and more than a steal per game. That's efficiency. That's production. That's impact, especially for a guy who was just getting integrated into a brand new system. You could see it in the flow of the offense, in his rotations on defense, and the confidence he gave the second unit, and when he went down, you felt it. The drop-off was real. The Warriors started to lose that rhythm, that stability he helped provide. But this is bigger than stats. This is about identity. About the type of players the Warriors want in the building. Melton fits that mold. He's gritty. He defends. He doesn't need to be the center of attention. He's a glue guy, but not in the cliche sense. He literally holds lineups together. He brings balance, something this team has struggled to maintain since the days of their deep benches with Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, and company. And you know what's crazy? Melton is only 27, still young, still in his prime, still with something to prove, and now potentially with unfinished business in the Bay. Imagine the motivation. A player who knows what he missed, who knows the opportunity that slipped through his fingers because of an injury. Now he has a chance to write a new chapter with the same team that believed in him the first time. That kind of story, it's the kind of comeback that Warriors fans can rally behind, because there's something about Melton's journey that fits perfectly with what Golden State has always been about: resilience, chemistry, and defying expectations. It's what turned Stephen Curry into a global icon, what made that 2015 team legendary, what kept them relevant through injuries and transitions. And maybe, just maybe, Melton's return could be the start of another unexpected arc. Speaking of Steph, there's another layer to all of this that ties directly into the Warriors' culture. Back in the day when the team was storming through the league, blowing out teams by 20 or 30 on any given night, there was a certain energy, a confidence that bordered on irrational, and Steph, he embodied that more than anyone. In a recent interview, he admitted he used to check social media at halftime. Yeah, when the team was down by double digits, he'd scroll through Twitter, laugh at memes, maybe even respond to a fan request. One time, a reporter tweeted asking him to do an airplane celebration after a three-pointer, and he did it right after halftime. That's how loose the vibes were. They weren't cocky. They were fearless. They knew they could come back from anything. Steph's older now, 37, and things have changed. He doesn't pull out his phone during halftime anymore. Recovery matters more. Those 10 minutes in the locker room have become sacred. But the mentality, it's still there. That joy, that fun, that belief that no matter what the scoreboard says, the Warriors have a run in them. It never left. That's the environment players like Melton walk into. That's the standard. And maybe that's what makes Golden State such a unique place for players looking to reset or relaunch. It's not about volume, scoring, or flashy plays. It's about playing the right way, competing hard, and sharing the ball. It's about being part of something bigger than yourself. Melton got a small taste of that before his injury. And if this return happens, he's going to get another shot. Not just to play, but to belong. Now, while Melton's potential return has Warriors fans buzzing, there's a bigger story simmering just beneath the surface. The complicated, sometimes frustrating world of NBA restricted free agency. And right in the middle of it, sitting in what many would call the toughest spot for a young player, is none other than Jonathan Kuminga. A guy with immense talent and sky-high potential, but also stuck in a contract limbo that's testing patience and maybe even trust between player and team. Restricted free agency is a tricky beast. It sounds simple. A player finishes his rookie deal, but his team still holds the rights to match any offer that comes his way. But the reality, it often means the player has little to no power. They're kind of stuck waiting to see if their team will come through with a fair deal, or else they risk playing on a one-year qualifying offer. That's usually much lower than what they deserve. It can drag out all summer long, leaving players in a frustrating holding pattern, and that's exactly where Kuminga finds himself now. Teams have the upper hand here because the NBA's salary cap landscape has changed so much over the years. Back when there was plenty of cap space floating around, restricted free agency wasn't such a drag. Players could at least field offers from other teams, and even if their original team matched, it gave the players some leverage, or at least some negotiating power. But now almost no team has cap space. Everyone's tight, every dollar counts, and that means restricted free agents often get left hanging. The whole system feels outdated compared to how the league really operates today. Kuminga's situation is a perfect example. His qualifying offer for the upcoming season is around $8 million, but realistically, he's hoping for a deal in the $20 to $30 million per year range. It's a massive gap, and while the Warriors want to keep him, they're also trying to manage their cap and roster flexibility. The clock is ticking, and that limbo creates tension not just for Kuminga, but for the entire organization. His future could affect other moves like bringing back Melton or signing veterans. It's not just Kuminga either. Other young restricted free agents around the league are facing similar struggles. Guys like Josh Giddey in Chicago, Quentin Grimes with Philadelphia, and Cam Thomas in Brooklyn are all waiting on their teams to step up. The agents representing these players talk about it being brutal, an agonizing process that drags on with no guarantee of a payday. It's a part of the business that rarely gets the spotlight, but can deeply impact a player's confidence and development. And it's worth mentioning that while Kuminga's qualifying offer is $8 million, some others are even lower. Thomas's is about $6 million, Grimes is around $8.5 and Giddey's a little over $11. None of them close to what these players think they've earned or what the market would dictate. If there were more cap space available, the restricted free agency system as it stands is definitely due for a rethink. Meanwhile, the Warriors have to juggle all of this while trying to build a championship contender around their core veterans. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, all of whom still have gas left in the tank but aren't getting any younger. It's a delicate balancing act trying to blend experienced stars with hungry young talent. Melton's potential return fits neatly into that puzzle. A gritty high-energy player who complements the veteran style and can help fill gaps, especially defensively. Speaking of Steph, his role in all this can't be understated. He's the face of the franchise, the heartbeat of the team. And even though he's now in his late 30s, Steph's mindset remains infectious. He's the type of player who leads by example, keeps the locker room loose but focused, and sets the tone for what it means to be a Warrior, competitive, fun-loving, and relentless. His old habit of checking social media during halftime even when the team was trailing badly speaks to that lighthearted confidence. That's been a hallmark of the team's culture for years. But now at this stage of his career, Steph's approach has evolved. Recovery, preparation, and preservation are the new priorities during those halftime breaks. Yet the spirit of having fun and staying engaged with fans and teammates hasn't disappeared. It's part of the DNA that makes the Warriors more than just a basketball team. It's a family with a shared history and a shared goal. Melton, Kuminga, and the rest of the roster are stepping into that environment. A place where hard work meets brotherhood. All these stories, Melton's comeback, Kuminga's contract saga, Steph's veteran wisdom, they paint a complex picture of the Warriors as they head into the 200,526 season. A team that's still evolving, still searching for the right mix, still hungry to prove that they can keep competing at the highest level. It's a reminder that success in the NBA isn't just about stars and highlights. It's about resilience, about navigating setbacks, about seizing opportunities when they come. And with players like Melton potentially coming back to finish what they started, and young talents like Kuminga hoping for their shot, the Warriors are setting the stage for another chapter in their storied run, one that could blend the old and new in a way that keeps them relevant and dangerous for years to come. Beyond the contract negotiations and injury comebacks, the Warriors' journey is also shaped by the ever-changing dynamics of the NBA itself. The league has evolved rapidly in recent years with shifts in playing style, front office strategies, and even how players approach their careers. Golden State has had to adapt, blending their championship-winning formula with the realities of a more unpredictable, star-driven market. One of the biggest challenges facing the Warriors is balancing the immediate desire to compete at a high level with the long-term vision for the franchise. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson still deliver at an elite level, but their window isn't infinite. Bringing back players like Melton, who bring energy and defensive toughness, is one way the Warriors can maintain that competitive edge without overcommitting to long-term deals that might limit future flexibility. At the same time, the younger players like Kuminga represent the franchise's future. Kuminga's talent and potential have been clear since he entered the league, but restricted free agency puts him in a tough spot. The Warriors want to keep him, but they have to be strategic. They need to build around their veterans while investing in their youth, without hamstringing their ability to add key pieces down the road. It's a delicate dance that requires patience and savvy negotiation. The entire process can be draining for the players caught in it. Restricted free agency often feels like a waiting game with no clear endpoint. For Kuminga, it means uncertainty about his financial future and his role on the team. He's had flashes of brilliance, moments where he showed he can be a cornerstone. But until the contract situation is settled, it's tough for both him and the team to fully commit. The Warriors front office understands this, which is why reports about ongoing discussions with Kuminga are crucial. They know that locking in their young talent is essential not just for their roster, but for the team culture. Young players need to feel valued and supported to thrive in a pressure cooker environment like Golden State. The tension created by prolonged contract talks can affect more than just the salary cap. It can ripple through the locker room. Meanwhile, Melton's potential return adds a layer of optimism. His time with the Warriors was cut short by injury, but in the few games he played, he left an impression, a player who gives full effort every minute, who brings a contagious positive energy to the team. Draymond Green's comments about Melton's attitude and presence highlight how valuable that kind of intangible contribution isn't a locker room filled with champions. Fans have noticed this too. Melton's hustle defense and willingness to do the dirty work fit perfectly with the Warriors' style, especially when paired with the sharpshooting and playmaking of Curry and Thompson. His ability to guard multiple positions and create turnovers adds depth and versatility, qualities that are hard to replace. It's not just about what Melton does on the court, it's the vibe he creates off it. Green pointed out how Melton's constant smile and positive attitude lift the team, especially during tough stretches. Basketball is a mental game as much as it is physical, and having a teammate who keeps spirits high can be the difference in tight games and long seasons. All these pieces, the veterans, the young talent, the role players like Melton, come together to form the Warriors' identity heading into the new season. It's a mix of grit, skill, and resilience, but the NBA landscape ensures nothing is ever guaranteed. Injuries, contract disputes, and changing team dynamics mean every season is a fresh challenge. Steph Curry's evolution into a leader who balances fun with focus embodies that challenge. His rear habit of joking and interacting with fans during halftime has matured into a more strategic use of that time, emphasizing recovery and preparation. Yet he remains a player who finds joy in the game, setting a tone that rubs off on his teammates. This balance between seriousness and levity, between experience and youth, defines the Warriors' approach. It's why fans remain hopeful even when contract talks drag on or injuries disrupt the lineup. Because beneath all the drama, there's a core belief in the team's ability to overcome adversity and keep pushing toward another championship. The road ahead won't be easy. Navigating restricted free agency, managing the health of key players, and integrating new pieces will require all the Warriors' resilience and creativity. But if history has taught us anything, it's that this team knows how to rise to the occasion. With Melton potentially returning, Kuminga's talent waiting to be fully unlocked, and Steph's leadership guiding the way, the Warriors are poised to write their next chapter in a league that's always moving. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. In the ever-shifting landscape of the NBA, rumors often stir excitement and speculation among fans and analysts alike. The latest buzz circulating in basketball circles is the potential signing of Filipino sensation Sotto by the Golden State Warriors. If true, this move could mark a significant chapter not only for the Warriors, but also for the global basketball community. Sotto, a towering figure at 7'3", has been hailed as a phenomenon in his home country of the Philippines and beyond. His blend of size, skill, and agility has drawn comparisons to some of the league's most dominant big men. While still young and developing, Sotto's potential is undeniable. His presence in the paint could add a new dimension to the Warriors roster, a team traditionally known for its sharpshooting and fast-paced style. Speculation about Sotto joining the Warriors has been building steadily, fueled by whispers in NBA circles and social media chatter. The Warriors, known for their forward-thinking approach to team building, could see Sotto as a strategic asset, a long-term project with the upside of controlling the glass, altering shots, and providing rim protection. This aligns with their occasional needs to bolster their interior defense and physical presence under the basket. If the signing comes to fruition, it could signal a bold step by the Warriors to diversify their style of play.